These Universes Beyond secret layers for Marvel are going to blow your socks off. Players are so hyped right now about this product that it's an entirely different chapter. Now in today's video though, we're going to discuss more than just these secret layers, because the secret layers themselves give a hint about what we can expect from next year's Marvel Universes Beyond product lineup. So stick around guys, it's an extended video today, but there's a lot to talk about. It really doesn't matter if an individual watching this video today says that I'm not going to buy this secret layer, Moxman. I don't care about them, because they are going to sell. They are going to sell phenomenally well, and this also gives us kind of an indicator of what's coming down the pipeline from Wizards of the Coast and Disney about putting these products together. Now, you're probably wondering what I mean by that. Now, this video is an extended video because I am sharing with you guys the entire lineup of these secret layers. I think it's important we go over them. You can look at the artwork and pay attention, because the backdrop imagery can give you an indicator of what you're going to see when they put out the actual Universes Beyond product lineup. And we also cannot forget that this is Disney and this is Hasbro that we're dealing with. Don't forget, Hasbro puts out a lot of products that we're not impressed with from Wizards of the Coast. Disney has put out a lot of Marvel products that players and people out there are not impressed with, but they still keep coming, don't they? They're only just now trying to fix things. Now, the secret layers show some pretty good synergy in the cards, but they also lean toward a heavily constructed commander format. That doesn't mean that's what we're going to get from Universes Beyond products, but when I looked at these secret layers, and you guys will get a chance to watch the whole thing too, if you make it through the whole video, you will see a certain lineup of cards that fit heavily into Commander. Or they could fit into other formats, but to me, my opinion, it fits toward Commander. You guys will let me know in the comment section if you feel the same way. The artwork is definitely on point. They've chosen cards that fit in well. But they've also not chosen all new original cards. They didn't create a whole bunch of new cards for Marvel. What they've done is done a lot of reskinning and repurposing of cards that already exist, saving them a bucket load of money and just putting some new image artwork on top of it. I consider this the shortcut. I'm not really impressed when they do this, but I do love the artwork, so I'm going to have to say it's going to get a pass from most people. And the cards they have chosen are value cards. They are going to fit well. They are cards you're going to utilize inside Commander as well as other formats. You're going to play with them, and that's a great news scenario for anyone who's going to be buying these secret layers. Now, they also give us a little bit more insight. And what I mean by insight, I mean into the Marvel lineup of Universes Beyond products for next year. They did talk about it being multiple sets over the next couple of years, and I want you guys to remember this, because those little backdrop words, multiple sets over the next couple of years, mean a lot more than just one or two sets. They mean multiple secret layers. They can mean multiple commander decks. They can be full standalone sets with hundreds of cards, but not all of them being new. They could be partial new cards with a whole bunch of reprints added in, like we've seen for MTG Foundations. They told us 50% new, 50% reprint. And that is something I think we are going to come to expect from this Marvel lineup. Now, it's only my opinion, of course. I have no hard facts to back this up, but judging on what we've seen from the secret layers already and what you guys will see later in the video, to me it seems to lean that way. And when I look at that, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's something to keep in mind. It is something to be aware of, because this is going to be a big lineup. There's going to be a huge, massive print run of these cards, and there will be that need for players to feel FOMO. They're going to want to feel like they're missing out so they can just justify buying a blanket amount of these cards. I'm looking forward to seeing how these things play out over time. I'll, of course, be here to talk to you guys about it, give my opinion on things, as well as any hard research I can get done on value points on cards being offered. But let's be honest, a lot of you won't even care. If they slap some good artwork on it and they make it a half-decent card, it is going to sell. I know, because I got inundated with emails all weekend long from all the people who had gone to the Vegas and said, have you seen this stuff? Did you check this out? I'm going to buy as many as I can possibly buy. I'm going to buy 10, 15. I'm going to speculate on 20 of everything. It was insane to see how much of this had gone through. And this is just my channel. Imagine how many other content creators out there got inundated with the same amount of emails or more for larger channels. This is going to be insane to watch it play out, but I think it's important because it's going to share with us what players want, how they are enjoying the products, and what Wizards of the Coast may give us in the future or revisit in the near future. Guys, let's take a look at these secret layers together today. And at the end of it, there'll be another little piece of this video as well. So let's jump into this. Let's share it together so you guys can get an idea of what we're talking about. I took a little extra time with this. I hope you guys enjoy it. So here we have Storm, Force of Nature. 1 red, 1 blue, 1 green, and 1 other. It's a 3/4 flying vigilance, legendary creature, mutant hero. Now, the beautiful artwork aside, what do we get for this creature? We get Ceaseless Tempest. Whenever Storm deals combat damage to a player, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn has Storm, which is pretty epic. Now, Storm the mechanic says when you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for those copies. Commander players are going to find a home for this card. And although right now it's a secret lair, let's not forget that this gives us a bit of insight into what Wizards of the Coast and Marvel have in store for us as fans with this upcoming Marvel product. I think players are going to dive into a card like this, but I'm sure you guys will drop some comments in the comment section to let me know how you feel about a card like this. For myself, the artwork, the card, it's going to be pretty epic. Now, the next card inside the secret lair may not be the most valuable card, but players use it in every deck they construct, and this is Lightning Bolt. It is a 3 damage instant for 1 red, and it can hit any target. Guys, this card, the artwork fits perfectly with Storm. I love the idea of the card. Is it the most expensive card to add to Secret Lair? No, absolutely not, but this artwork is going to be a fan favorite. I can guarantee it, guys. Let's take a look at the next card. Now, the next card, of course, is just fancy new artwork on an old card. Storm's Will is 1 red, 2 other. It's Jeskai's Will, and it's a sorcery that states, choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you can choose both instead. Add 1 red for each card in target opponent's hand, or exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. An amazing card that actually has some value inside this set, so it's good to see some inclusions of some powerful cards that are worth a few bucks. Now, unlike so many other secret lairs we've seen in years past, the cards inside this one actually hold quite a bit of value. Ice Storm, of course, is a green land destruction. It is 1 green and 2 other, and it says as a sorcery that you can choose a target land to destroy. Guys, cards like this used to be like 50, 60, 100 bucks. With this reprint, it'll bring the value down, but this again, the artwork is going to make players clamor to buy this card from this set. Amazing. The last card inside this secret lair is Metamorphose. Now, this, of course, is a reskin with some beautiful artwork, though, and a lot of players do utilize this card. Now, for 1 green or 1 red and 1 other, this is an instant. And it says add 2 mana in any combination of colors, and you get to draw a card. So basically, just draw a card for free. It's an amazing card. The artwork on these things, again, as I'm talking to you guys looking at this video, I've got to be honest, guys, it's something out of this world. I didn't expect to see these exact cards, but there's more to it than that. Now, our next secret lair is one of my personal favorites. This is Wolverine, the best there is. Now, we've seen this spoiled already earlier, but let's take a look. For 1 green, 1 red, and 1 other, this card with its beautiful artwork gives us a lot to think about. A legendary creature, mutant berserker hero. He has unrivaled lethality. Double all damage Wolverine would deal. At the beginning of each end step, if Wolverine dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on him. Regenerate Wolverine. Another cool ability we haven't seen in a long time. The next time he would be destroyed this turn, instead tap him, remove him from combat, and heal all damage on him. Now, this guy may start out really small, but as we know, Wolverine with his Berserker Rage is going to get really big, really quick in a whole bunch of different deck builds that players are going to put together. Marvel is shaping up to be something that players are going to be excited about or hate, depending on which side of the fence they fall with a lot of the Universes Beyond products. Now, the great thing about these secret lairs is the desirability of these cards inside. Wolverine's also has Berserk, which fits in perfectly with his character. It's an instant. Cast this spell only before the combat damage step. Target creature gains trample and +X/+O until end of turn, where X is its power. At the beginning of the next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked this turn. But of course, Wolverine has Regenerate. What an amazing card to add to this particular secret lair. The next card in the Wolverine secret lair is Rite of Passage, a 1 green and 2 other enchantment. Now, of course, this one brings us back to the Danger Room, and it says whenever a creature you control is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and some great flavor text as well. Guys, you can see how these cards just fit perfectly inside what they've chosen for each of these secret lairs so far. And the Wolverine pack also includes the Rhythm of the Wild, a 1 green, 1 red, 1 other enchantment. Beautiful artwork that says, creature spells you control cannot be countered. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. Throughout his adventures with the X-Men, Logan regularly returned to run with his first true family. Amazing artwork, an amazing card for players to use. The last card in the secret lair for Wolverine is the Adamantium Bonding Tank, or the Ozolith, a single casting cost card that, I gotta be honest, it may not be the best fit for this set, but you know what? It's a valuable card that players need. A legendary artifact that says whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had any counters on it, put those counters on the Adamantium Bonding Tank. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if Adamantium Bonding Tank has counters on it, you may move all those counters from it onto a target creature. Guys, that's a pretty awesome ability, and I'm still glad they made it in this card. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Tony Stark, the Titan of Innovation, a 5 casting cost. That's 1 red, 1 blue, and 3 other, legendary artifact creature, human hero with flying and haste, and a genius industrialist. Whenever Iron Man attacks, create a treasure token. Then you may sacrifice a non-creature artifact, and if you do, search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1, plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value. Put it onto the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. This card is going to be an amazingly abused card. People are going to find ways to get big artifacts out and sacrifice them to get even bigger artifacts. I can imagine seeing this card, but what do they give us inside the secret lair to augment this card? The next card they've added in is Galvanic Blast. Now, it's a single casting cost with some great artwork, all the drone Iron Men out there, with an instant speed that says 2 damage to any target, Metalcraft, which means it deals 4 damage instead if you control 3 or more artifacts, which actually kind of fits well with the Iron Man theme here of being able to create the treasure tokens. I like the idea of it fitting in well, okay? It's a good card, not a high value target, but a nice card to have. Now, let's take a look at the next card. And the next one is sort of a biggie. This is Commander's Plate. Now, this is a single casting cost, beautiful Iron Man layout in the background, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has protection from each color that is not in your color commander identity. Amazing. Equip commander for 3, or of course equip 5. Armor changes, but Iron Man endures. An amazing card to add. Now, our next card is going to have a lot of conspiracy theorists going, this is why they didn't ban it. This is why the rules committee didn't get rid of Soul Ring, Fast Mana, because it's the arc reactor. It was built by Tony Stark. They can't have this secret lair be a dud right off the bat in Commander if you can't play with your arc reactor, can you? Guys, the artwork's amazing. It's great to see it played out like this. Could they have done a little more with it? Absolutely, they could have. But for a lot of players, this is going to be a very satisfying card. The next card is the Inventor's Fair, the Stark Expo background, and this is a legendary land that states at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more artifacts, you gain 1 life. It taps for 1 mana, of course, and you can pay 4 and sacrifice it to search for an artifact card and put it into your hand. Not a bad card, guys. Now, the last one on the list here is just a treasure token showing the Tony Stark mask. I like it. It's obviously not a valuable card, but players are still going to look forward to seeing this thing. There's just going to be something about these secret lairs that's going to draw in a lot of money from players this time. Now, the next card is Captain America, the First Avenger, a 3 casting cost, 1 blue, 1 white, and 1 red. This card is a legendary creature, human soldier hero. Human and soldier, remember that. It has throw for 3, unattach an equipment from Captain America. He deals damage equal to that equipment's mana value, divided any way you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. Catch, At the beginning of combat on your turn, attach up to one target equipment you control to Captain America. Let's not forget he's also a 4/4. This card is going to see a lot of play. Some of the amazing equipment we have available to us in Magic the Gathering means that there's a lot of big colossal hammers that are going to be thrown around, and it is going to be insane, and we don't know what Marvel is going to add as other pieces of equipment inside this set. So looking at all the things we've seen so far, I think there's a good chance we're going to see some broken equipment later on. But what other cards are they adding inside Captain America's Secret Lair? Let's take a look at these together. The next card in the Captain America's Secret Lair is Captain America's Aid, or Sigarda's Aid overlay. It's an enchantment card that says you may cast aura and equipment spells as though they had flash. Whenever an equipment you control enters, you may attach it to a target creature you control, which of course this fits perfectly with the Captain America theme we've seen so far. But what other cards are they offering? We got some high value targets. Let's look at the next card. Our next card is Flawless Maneuver, a 1 white and 2 other casting cost instant speed spell. So what does this card offer us other than beautiful artwork? It says if you control a commander, you may cast this spell without paying its mana cost. Creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of turn. And it says you go, I'll shield you. Guys, a perfect card for Cap. Our next card is In the Trenches. 2 white, 1 other. Beautiful background with Bucky and Namor and stuff. And it's an enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1. You can exile it for 6 for a non-land permanent you don't control until this enchantment leaves the battlefield, but activate as a sorcery. And the last card inside the Captain America Secret Lair is the Shield of War and Peace, which is actually the Sword of War and Peace. It's an artifact equipment that gives +2/+2 and has protection from red and white. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, this equipment deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand, and you gain a life for each card in your hand. Equip 2, an amazing card to end off. I mean, Cap's Shield, it fits in perfectly. But now on to the last Secret Lair. Here we have the Black Panther Wakandan King, 1 white and 1 green. And what are we getting? Beautiful artwork in the backdrop, of course, but what are we going to get for this card? Well, it's a legendary creature, human noble hero with first strike, Survey the Realm. Whenever Black Panther or another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on a target land you control. Mine Vibranium 3. Move all +1/+1 counters from a target land you control onto target creature. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters are moved this way, you gain that much life and you get to draw a card. There's a lot of synergy with cards like this that will work well with the Black Panther, but what else? What else did they give us inside the Secret Lair? Now, the next card is not a high value target for me, and this is Secure the Waste. It's a 1 white +X, create X +1/+1 warrior creature tokens. It's fine, it just doesn't feel like it's really a powerful card to be putting into a Secret Lair representing the Black Panther. I do like the idea, of course, that it works with his synergy in his actual card. It doesn't seem like a high value target to me, but it's fine. It still works well, but what else are they giving us? Let's take a look at the next card, a little more interesting. Now, the 5 casting cost Primal Vigor is pretty good, guys. This enchantment's going to say, if 1 or more tokens would be created, create twice that many tokens instead. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature, twice that many counters is put on instead. This card, see how they're starting to add up? I think they put a lot of these together nicely. Maybe not the most expensive, but they do work. Now, the next card works in any deck. This is Heroic Intervention. Great artwork, great card. This one makes a lot of sense to me. It's an instant. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. A card like this fits into a lot of decks. The artwork's going to go off well. Again, not the most expensive card in the world, but still it fits in nicely with good value for players. Now we're jumping over to a land card, Wakandan Skyscraper or Karn's Basin. Beautiful artwork, of course, fits in. It's a land card, taps for 1 waste mana, and then, of course, it can pay 4, and it can proliferate, which is very cool to be able to put those counters on things, guys. Remember, this all fits like a commander theme for each of these as far as I'm concerned. Now, the last card inside the Black Panther Secret Lair is very cool as well. Love the artwork on this card, and that is going to be just a warrior token, right? Beautiful though with the spear, the shield, right? The whole backdrop, and it says creature token warrior. On ancient warriors, the Wakandans fought for a legacy that would last forever. So when you've looked at those secret layers and you either got awe-inspired by how cool they were, or to you they were just nothing special and you really didn't care, the one thing we can all be sure of, and I'm sure you can agree, is that if these products go well, there will be more of them. Disney controls Marvel, which has thousands of characters readily available to be utilized inside of a Universes Beyond product. Popular, unpopular, big, small, it doesn't matter. There's also all kinds of sub-variant characters that could reappear multiple times over. There could be standalone Commander products. There could be standalone Secret Layers. There could be whole new core sets developed just for Universes Beyond Marvel products. That's how big these things can become. Because if Hasbro sees money and Disney sees money and the product gets accepted, it is going to continue. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I actually would love to see it go off without a hitch if they get to expand on it, provided the price point is not at some ridiculous level that we all go, this is amazing, but I can't afford it. Because that's where we can go with things. They can reach a successful level where they actually turn away the customer base because things get too silly priced. Remember, Lord of the Rings was not cheap. The good news is we had the boxes that were okay, but those collector boxes were ridiculously expensive. And we don't even know what some of the crazy things they could add in. Are we going to get the Infinity Stones? Are we going to get some new types of Moxen or something that could be the stones inside? The speculation on this product has already been rampant, and I'm not trying to fuel that. I'm just trying to keep my mind open to the multiple possibilities of what I've seen in the past from marketing from Disney and marketing from Wizards of the Coast to kind of lay a foundation of what I can come to expect. I'm expecting a higher price point. I don't think it's going to be overly ridiculous. These secret layers give me a lot of imagery to work with to make me wonder what would be there. I look at the backdrop of some of the Captain America stuff. You can see other heroes there, which lets you know they're going to probably put these heroes in there. There's also, with Disney, there's copyright likeness and stuff that they have to go through sometimes to make sure certain characters appear at certain times so they can retain the property rights. So certain superheroes who aren't popular may appear in products like this. It is going to be fascinating to see how they lay this all out. I can't wait to see your comments in the comments section, letting me know how you feel about the product after seeing those secret layers, and tell me what some of your hopes are. What are you really looking forward to in the comments section? Are you hoping for some particular superhero to show up? Are you hoping they don't butcher it like they've done in the past with our Universes Beyond Dungeons and Dragons Adventures in Forgotten Realms? Great flavor text, great artwork, such underpowered characters. I hope they don't go that route. Although judging from what we've seen, I think we're going to be okay there. You guys let me know. Thanks a lot for stopping by the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video. I know you think you're special. You made it to the end of this extremely long video, and now you're looking at all the amazing Patreon support we have here on the channel. Because without these patrons, this video definitely would not have happened. It took hours to put together, and I hope you guys enjoyed every minute of it as much as I did putting it together. So thanks again to all my patrons out there for allowing me to do this, as well as all my YouTube membership members. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble, guys. You guys have made it through. Not the Black Hole. That was a great movie, by the way. A little scary for a Disney film. But let's jump into this. When you think of the cards in those secret layers, think of Storm and the fact she gives the Storm ability. You look at Captain America, equipment cards, right? When you think of these cards, some of them are going to be jacked up in value, but that also means they're more likely to get a reprint. If Wizards guys are working the way they should know which cards are going to connect and which ones are going to sell well. They should know where the mid values are and determine if those are going to be reprint products inside the Marvel Universe, upcoming secret layers, or a future product lineup. And if you own any of these potential cards that are valuable, you may want to consider offloading them just because they'll probably get a reprint. Now, if they don't get a reprint, I'm sorry that happens too. It's a risk either way. But chances are Wizards knows what they're doing. Anyway. Great secret layers. Wolverine, Berserk, come on. Danger Room, Professor X. They gotta give us some cool characters, right? Guys, thanks a lot for hanging out. I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys put some great comments in the comment section. Hopefully this video gets a lot of views. I'm actually really hopeful for this one. I don't know, it felt really good putting it together. Guys, thanks again.